Kristen, and today we're going to be starting out by taking resting heart rate and blood pressure with my subject. So I'm going to start off with the heart rate. So you can see my watch. All right, and I got 35 for a 30-second reading. So her heart rate is going to be 70 on the dot. Next, we're going to take blood pressure, side of the cuff. Making sure it's snug but not too tight. And you can just rest your arm there on the table. All right, and I got 105/70 for her resting blood pressure. Thanks. Hey, we're going to be testing range of motion of our patient's shoulder, elbow, hip, and knee today. We're going to do all on her left side of the body. Starting with the shoulder, a few things about our goniometer. We have our stationary arm, our axis, and our movable arm, which are going to be important on our patient. So we're going to start off with our with the shoulder. Our axis is going to be right over the acromion. Stationary is going to be in line with the torso, and the movable is going to be in line with the arm. So I'm going to find that. All right. Go ahead and raise your arm. And I got 171 for that. We're then going to move into the elbow, where our axis is going to be the lateral epicondyle. The stationary is going to be in line with the humerus, and the movable is in line with the radius. So, finding the lateral epicondyle, sorry about that. Go ahead and bend your arm. And I got 156 for that. We're then going to have her move onto the table so that we can measure her hip and her knee. For the hip, the axis is going to be on the greater trochanter. Stationary is going to be in line with the torso, and the movable is in line with the femur. So finding the greater trochanter, if I can have you internally and externally rotate the leg, so rotate in and out, perfect. And all right, I found it right there. All right, and oops, sorry. Having you bring your knee to your chest for that hip. Good, and I got 109, excuse me. The last one is going to be the knee, where the axis is right over the knee joint. Stationary is going to be pointing towards the greater trochanter that we just found, and the movable is pointing towards the lateral malleolus. All right, so bring that heel to your butt. As far as you can go. Good. And I got 132 for that. So those are the measurements for ranges of motion. Thanks. Okay, we're going to do a flexibility assessment, the YMCA sit and reach. A few quick notes, making sure her hands are one on top of the other, not sliding. And her heels are on the 15-inch mark. She's going to breathe in, and on the exhale, bend forward at the hips, touching the yardstick, making sure she holds there for 2 seconds, and we're going to do 2 trials of this. So whenever you're ready. Touching the yardstick. Perfect. 1, 2. Good.
Oh, that was not good.
Now one more try. Whenever you're ready. Big inhale. Perfect.
Oh, I'm flexible.
All right. So I got 12 and 12 and a half. So we're going to go with 12 and a half. Perfect. Thanks.
Go.
Hi. We're going to be doing a waist to hip ratio. We're going to start off with a waist measurement, which looking from the front is going to be the narrowest part. It's usually around the umbilicus region, and we're going to measure in centimeters. So I'm going to perfectly find the narrowest spot. Looks to be right there. And I get 80 centimeters. We're then going to do the waist measurement, or the hip measurement, excuse me, which looking from the side is the widest point around the hips. So again, lift those hands, being respectful of my client. And I get 102 for that measurement. And that's our waist to hip ratio. Thanks. Hi, we're going to be doing skin fold measurements for a female. The 3 sites are the tricep, the suprailiac, and the quad. A few things you do want to make sure you get the true midpoint, especially in the tricep and the quad, which I've already done and made a few little X marks so I can just go right into my skin fold. A few other things, you just want to make sure that pinch isn't too big so that you're getting muscle, and that it's not too small so that you're just getting skin. You want to get a good pinch in each one. So I'm just going to go through. I already have that midpoint of the triceps, and I have my pinch. I'm going to hold it for 1, 2, and I got 25 for that one. I'm then going to go to the suprailiac, which is right on that crest right there. So right there. And hold it for 1, 2, and I got 26 for that one. Our last one is the quad. Again, I already have my midpoint marked there. Got my pinch. And I'm going to hold it for 1, 2, and I got 36 there. So those are my 3 measurements. Just to be super precise, you would usually go back through again, making sure all measurements are within 1 to 2 millimeters, and if they aren't, then you'd go through a 3rd time just to make sure everything is consistent. But that is how you do 3-site skin fold for a female. Thanks. Hey, we're going to do muscular assessments now. We're going to start off with the ACSM push-up test, and then we're going to do the curl-up test and a post-test blood pressure and heart rate. We're going to start off with the push-up test. A few things for this test. Form-wise for the individual is making sure our hands are pointed forward and our shoulder width apart. Because she is a female, we can do a modified form on her knees, making sure those toes are on the ground. when you go into the push-up position, so the down position, you do need to make sure your chin touches the floor and your back maintains straight the whole time. And it's as many as you can do without breaking that form. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, whenever you're ready, we're going to get into that form. That looks good. Make sure those toes on there are good.
All right,
And whenever you're ready.
Okay.
That was good. I counted 17. She's going to rest while I demonstrate how to do the curl up test. So we do have our 2 pieces of tape here that are 12 centimeters apart. For the curl up test, you want to make sure your knees are at 90 degrees. And you're going to start with your fingertips on the edge of the first piece of tape. And then I have a metronome set to 40 beats per minute, and with each beat you're going to get into the curl position, touching that second piece of tape, and down to the second beat. So up and down. I'm then going to have my patient get into that position. Alright, I'm going to start the metronome, and whenever you're ready.
Up and down. Yeah, no, that's it.
That was good. Perfect. Now we're going to finish up by taking a post-test heart rate and blood pressure. So if you just want to sit up, take your time. No worries.
Okay.
I'm just going to take your wrist. And you can have it resting. That's fine. All right, and I got 49 for the 30 seconds. And we're going to multiply that by 2, which is higher math for me, so 98, I believe, for our 60-second heart rate. We're then going to do a blood pressure. And again, you can just have it resting, that's fine. All right, and I got 111/72 for that. And that's it. Thanks.